This is your one and only 𝐈𝐸𝐻81 with your daily dose of video goodness, and welcome back to another informational Back 4 Blood video. Today we're going to talk about some card combos that you should be putting in your next loadout. Let's get to it. Before we get to the cards, I just want to state that you're going to see all of these cards in one deck. I just did that for the purposes of this video. It is not meant to be a deck. These are specific sets of cards that synergize really well together that you could add to existing loadouts or build a loadout around. Our first card combo is Glass Cannon and Experienced EMT. Glass Cannon has an absolutely massive 25% bonus damage to it, but it also has the negative drawback of negative 30% health. That's a pretty big loss in health, but you can counteract that by using the Experienced EMT card. The Experienced EMT card reads that when you use a medical accessory, the target gains plus 20% maximum health until the end of the level. This target can be you or an ally, it doesn't matter. So the first point at which you take damage, all you need to do is use a bandage or take some pills, and you will gain plus 20% to your max health, canceling out 20% of the 30% that you lose with Glass Cannon, meaning that you get a plus 25% damage bonus and only losing 10% of your max health, which is a big difference between the 30% you would lose without using Experienced EMT. Now, the interesting part of this is you could do this right at the beginning of the game when you are in a safe house. Once you open the door, step outside the safe house, have your friend shoot you once or twice, walk back inside the safe house, use a bandage or use pills, and then just buy those again from the shop there, because you have time once you initially step outside the safe house to step back in it and continue to shop. Alternatively, you can just let a zombie hit you once or twice, kill it, and then do the exact same thing. Next up, we have Silver Bullets and Bounty Hunter. This is another one where you have a massive drawback, but you also get a huge bonus. So with Silver Bullets, you get 10% extra damage and 150% bullet penetration, but it comes with a negative side effect of when you kill a mutation, you lose 5 copper. Now, this isn't the biggest of deals because you can just not last hit the mutation, but sometimes that's going to happen and you don't want to lose 5 copper. You can counteract that and get an additional 5 copper when you do kill a mutation by using the Bounty Hunter card, which reads when you kill a mutation, you gain 10 copper up to 300 per level. This means that each level you can kill up to 30 mutations. That means you get the last hit on the mutation and still come out 150 copper ahead. This also means you can last hit a total of 60 mutations before you actually start to lose any copper. Not only can you get 10% additional damage and 150% bullet penetration, you can also manage to come out of each level with an additional 150 copper. Our next set of cards is Adrenaline Fueled and Natural Sprinter. So Adrenaline Fueled reads that you get plus 100% stamina. This essentially doubles your current stamina pool, but it reduces your stamina regeneration by 75%. On top of that, it gives you, when you kill an enemy, you get 10 stamina instantly and an additional 10 stamina over 5 seconds. So that means every second after your initial kill, you will gain 2 stamina. Essentially giving you a buff that is very similar, but actually better than Holly's, because where Holly only gains 10 stamina, you gain 20. But you will feel that negative 75% stamina regeneration. It's absolutely brutal. You can counteract that really simply by just running the Natural Sprinter card, which gives you 100% stamina regeneration and negative 50 to your maximum stamina. So what this does is this causes the 2 negative status effects on each of these cards to cancel each other out, giving you a bonus all around. So running these 2 together essentially acts as a single card that gives you plus 52 stamina, plus 25% to stamina regeneration, and allows you to gain 10 stamina each time you kill an enemy, plus an additional 10 over 5 seconds. Meaning that you can run around like a mad person, killing everything in sight and constantly be sprinting and hardly ever run out of stamina. Next up, we have Numb and Face Your Fears. Numb reads that you gain plus 15% damage resistance while you have temporary health. 𝐈𝐦𴑗 reads that you gain 3 temporary health whenever you kill a Ridden within 2 meters. So basically, when it's right up in front of your face. When you are dealing with Ridden that are that close to you, that 15% damage resistance that you get from Numb is extremely handy. These 2 cards work in tandem absolutely beautifully, allowing you to be up in a zombie's face and take hits with reduced damage with absolutely no problem, because that 15% damage resistance that you get is actually a pretty big chunk of damage resistance. This can also cancel out a bunch of other cards that, for example, here, energy drink that reduces your damage resistance by 5%. That's not a big deal if you're not taking any damage, but if you're close and Ridden are all up in your face and you are taking damage, this can cancel something like that out. Not to mention that if you kill a bunch of Ridden really quickly in a row, you can gain a nice chunk of temporary health, which will cause this damage resistance to last much longer. Next up, we have Combat Knife and Battle Lust. So Combat Knife just turns your bash into a melee weapon and allows you to pretty much one-shot normal Ridden if you hit them in the head. Battle Lust allows you to gain 2 health for each Ridden that you kill with melee attacks. This allows you to run 2 guns without worrying about a melee weapon and be able to get the jump on the random little straggler Ridden that you see strewn throughout levels and easily regen chunks of health in between large-scale battles. Our next card combo is specifically designed to run with Doc because all of the cards synergize together with her passive abilities. Her passive ability is the team effects is that it's plus 25% team trauma resistance. On top of that, she can heal each teammate for 25 health per level without any bandages or anything like that, and she has a plus 20% healing efficiency. When combined with Rousing Speech, which reads that she gains plus 225% revive speed. It does have the negative side effect of disabling her offensive accessories, but trust me, it's worth it. On top of that, it causes the team effects of plus 20% reduced in-cap trauma, which I'm pretty sure that's just supposed to read trauma. I think that in-cap is a leftover thing there because the tooltip just says trauma. Essentially what this does is this adds onto her already existing passive, giving you a total of 45% reduced trauma. Trauma is a serious negative side effect that it happens in this game from taking damage, and this cuts it almost in half. Combining that with Medical Professional, which reads that first aids and defibrillators also recover plus 15 trauma and 1 extra life, means that you and your party will hardly ever have any serious trauma issues, bar something crazy happens like you just get down and beat the crap for a long period of time. Even then, with that 45% reduction in total that you get from taking trauma, you're hardly ever going to have any trauma issues whatsoever. As an additional synergy to that setup, you can also run the shoulder bag, which will give you 2 additional support inventory slots. You'll have a good chunk of negative side effects from this setup with no offensive accessories and negative 10% to your total damage, but you will be an absolute healing monster and provide so much utility for your team that you won't even notice these things are missing. Last but not least, we have 2 is 1 and 1 is none, along with admin reload. 2 is 1 and 1 is none reads that you can equip a primary weapon in your secondary slot. It does reduce your swap speed by 25%, but you won't really notice that too much because you already swap relatively fast and it's relatively easy to cancel that out with other cards if you really want to. You could run something as simple as shooting gloves and completely cancel it out. Admin reload reads that when you stow your weapon, it reloads. So essentially whatever weapon you do not have equipped will reload while it's not equipped. This allows you to be an absolute bullet slinging machine. You never have to hit the reload button. All you need to do is swap and you already have another weapon fully reloaded, ready to go. Not only is it another weapon fully reloaded and ready to go, it's a primary weapon. Doing this though, I highly suggest using 2 two different weapons that use two different types of bullets. You'll constantly be slinging bullets downrange, and you will have two different types of ammo, so you won't burn through a single ammo super fast. Because trust me, with this setup, with swapping weapons like this and constantly firing like crazy, you will burn through ammo relatively quickly. As a bonus to this setup, you can also run power swap. I find power swap to be a little bit tedious, but I'm throwing it in there anyway because it just synergizes with these two cards already. If you're gonna be swapping weapons constantly, power swap reads that changing weapons within 0.75 seconds of reaching low ammo grants plus 20% damage for 5 seconds. So as soon as you see your ammo count start to flash red, you want to swap. When you do that, you will get a 5-second damage bonus of 20%. While I personally do not like this card, it does work really well and synergize really well with these two cards and this setup. So I felt that it needed to be mentioned. All right, that's pretty much it for this one. Have you already started to use any of these cards or found these synergies already? If not, what do you think about them? Do you plan on using any of them in your build? Let me know down there in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful and informational, consider hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified when I upload other videos. All right, that is going to wrap it up for this episode. I want to give an absolutely massive shout out to my supporters on Patreon for making this episode possible. Y'all are absolutely amazing people. If you would like to join my elite crew of Patreon supporters, please check out the link in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. If you're shy, you don't like to comment, just hit that thumbs up button and show your support. Until next time, thanks for watching.